It was a dark and stormy night in Gotham City. The clouds loomed overhead, threatening to unleash their fury at any moment. The streets were deserted, the air thick with an eerie silence, but in the distance, a haunting laugh echoed through the night. It was the laugh of the Joker, the city's most notorious and deranged criminal. As the laughter grew closer, a sense of fear and dread washed over the city. The residents knew that when the Joker was out, chaos and terror were not far behind. The sound of his laugh seemed to seep into the very bones of those who heard it, sending shivers down their spines. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated the figure of the Joker standing on a rooftop, his face contorted into a grotesque grin. His eyes glowed with a manic fervor as he surveyed the city below. Each step he took seemed to echo like a death knell signaling impending doom. As the night wore on, reports of bizarre and horrifying events began to pour in. People claimed to have seen the Joker's twisted smile lurking in the shadows, his presence instilling a sense of overwhelming dread. Others spoke of strange and inexplicable occurrences, like blood-red graffiti appearing on buildings and unexplained disappearances. The city was gripped by fear as the Joker's reign of terror continued to escalate. No one knew where he would strike next or what horrifying scheme he had concocted. The mere mention of his name sent chills down the spines of even the bravest souls. It seemed as though the Joker had plunged Gotham City into a living nightmare, and there was no escape from his malevolent grasp. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a hero emerged to challenge the Joker's reign of terror. Batman, the Dark Knight of Gotham, vowed to put an end to the Joker's madness once and for all. The stage was set for an epic showdown between good and evil, a battle that would determine the fate of the city. As the two adversaries clashed, the night erupted into chaos. The Joker's maniacal laughter pierced the air, sending chills down the spines of all who heard it. But Batman remained resolute, his resolve unshakable in the face of the Joker's depravity. In the end, it was Batman who emerged victorious, apprehending the Joker and delivering him to justice. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief as the nightmare came to an end, and the Joker was imprisoned once more. But as the memory of that fateful night lingered in the minds of Gotham's residents, they knew that the Joker's legacy of horror would never truly be forgotten. For as long as the twisted laughter of the Joker echoed through the streets, the city would remain haunted by the specter of its most feared and diabolical adversary. In the dead of night, when the city was shrouded in darkness, a chill ran down the spines of those who dared to roam the streets. For it was said that the Joker was on the loose, and his maniacal laughter echoed through the empty alleyways. The Joker was not just any criminal. He was a deranged madman with a twisted sense of humor, a sadistic nature that made even the bravest souls tremble in fear. His face, painted in a grotesque mask of white and red, was a nightmarish sight that haunted the dreams of many.
One by one, the city's inhabitants began
to disappear, leaving behind only a sense of foreboding that hung in the air like a thick fog. The Joker's presence was felt everywhere, his malevolent energy seeping into every corner of the city. But it was not just his physical presence that was terrifying. It was the psychological torment he inflicted on his victims that truly made him a creature of horror. He played twisted games with their minds, leaving them trapped in a nightmarish world of his own creation. There was no escape from the Joker's clutches. Those who crossed his path were doomed to suffer a fate worse than death. And as the city descended into chaos, the Joker's laughter rang out louder than ever, a chilling reminder of the nightmare that had taken hold. The authorities were powerless to stop him, for the Joker was like a phantom, disappearing into the shadows whenever they drew near. And so the city remained in the grip of fear, the Joker's reign of terror unchallenged and unstoppable. And as the night drew on, the echoes of his laughter continued to haunt the city, a constant reminder of the horror that lurked just around the corner. The Joker had become a legend, a nightmare made flesh, and his legacy would live on long after he had disappeared into the darkness from which he came. It was a dark and stormy night when Michael found himself walking alone down a deserted street. He could feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand up as he quickened his pace, trying to ignore the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, he heard a sinister chuckle from behind him. He turned around to see a figure in a jester costume standing in the shadows, a twisted smile painted on its face. Michael's heart was pounding in his chest as he tried to run, but the Joker was faster. It lunged at him with a knife, slashing at his throat. Michael stumbled and fell to the ground, clutching at his bleeding neck. The last thing he saw, before everything went dark, was the Joker's face, its eyes filled with glee, as it watched him die. The next morning, Michael's body was found by the police, his throat slit and a mocking jester's mask placed on his face. The town was in a state of panic, as more and more people fell victim to the Joker's attacks. No one was safe, and everyone lived in fear of when the Joker would strike next. Rumors began to spread that the Joker was not of this world, a malevolent spirit seeking to sow chaos and death. People whispered about a curse that had been placed on the town and how the Joker was the harbinger of doom. As the body count rose, the town became consumed by paranoia and suspicion. No one trusted anyone, and everyone was on edge, waiting for the Joker to make their move. But no matter how hard they tried, they could not escape the Joker's deadly grasp. The town descended into madness, with people locking themselves indoors and barricading their doors and windows. But it was all in vain. The Joker seemed to be everywhere at once, striking when least expected and leaving a trail of terror and blood in its wake. In the end, the town was left a ghostly shell of its former self, with only the echoes of laughter and the memory of the Joker's deadly games. And to this day, people still speak in hushed tones about the Joker, who brought death and despair to their once peaceful town.